All right, so let's say Vrabel's the guy. Mike Giardi again at BSJ has some thoughts on the staff that Vrabel could have. So let's try to speed this up. Some of that was my fault last segment, starting with the long question that I asked you to start the lightning round that ended up not being a lightning round. Mike Giardi on the staff. So Josh McDaniels, his name comes up again. Greg, sell us on why Josh McDaniels would be a great pick.
Because I think, and nobody's really talked about this. It's one thing to get an offensive coordinator, play caller, offensive coordinator. That's great. With a young quarterback like Drake Maye, who's going to be the franchise, for years to come, you need not just an offensive coordinator and play caller. You need a master teacher of the quarterback position. And I think that Josh's resume on that speaks itself. So I think Josh is one of these rare people who is an expert at coaching the quarterback, but is also an expert at game planning and play calling. To me, if that happens, and look, I don't have any information on it. Last I heard, I don't think I think it's not a done deal. It's far from a done deal. I do think that Josh has other options, but he still lives locally. And I think whatever he does next, it's going to be in the best interest of his family. And you would think that staying in his house and going back to work at Gillette would be that, but who knows? We'll see what the McDaniels end up doing at the end of the day. But I just think Josh is terrific. I mean, look at what he did with Mac Jones and a bunch of new people on offense that year. Remember, they brought in all, new tight ends, new wide receivers, all that. They were like sixth in the league in points with Mac Jones, who, look what he's become. Imagine what he can do with Drake Maye and maybe some real talent. Bill never really gave him any, true talent out there. I think he's tremendous. Look what he did, bringing up, especially, like Garoppolo and Matt Castle and Mac Jones, and look what he got out of Cam Newton for a lot of that season. Jacoby Brissett beat an undefeated Texans team. I think he has a great resume. I think the offense is good. I think it can be used for anybody. Again, example, Mac Jones's rookie year. Everybody says that system's too complicated. That was really a Brady issue. Josh will make it as simple as it needs to be, and I think he'd be great for Drake Maye and for the Patriots in general.
The two other OC names brought up by Giardi, Tommy Rees, Todd Downing. Any thoughts?
Not really. I mean, both those guys, I would worry about how much of an expert are they coaching the quarterback. I think that Tommy Rees is probably going to get promoted in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Who was the other guy? Downing.
Downing.
Downing is more of, if I remember correctly, he's more of like a tight ends coach type of guy. I mean, look, those guys are possible, but they better have kick-ass quarterback coaches that they're bringing with them, because that's the most important thing. I think, who's in the ear of the quarterback, how many, is a vital question that I think the Krafts were asking even last year, and certainly they will this offseason.
Any shot AVP would stay as the quarterback's coach?
I don't completely rule it out, but again, it depends on like the marriage and like who's the offensive coordinator and does he work with that system. I think it'd be, if it was an old school West Coast guy, I think it's possible if he doesn't have any other options, but I wouldn't say it's probable.
Shane Bowen is the name for the defensive coordinator. Any thoughts on Bowen? He's currently at New York for the Giants. There's some thought that maybe the Giants move on from him. Any idea on Bowen?
I've just heard from a couple of people that he's not very impressive. Look, I don't know. I'm not telling you this, but you're also getting Mike Vrabel, and unlike Jerod Mayo, Mike Vrabel actually knows how to coach defense and will help that side of the ball a lot if it needs it. And that combination was really good especially with rushing defense. Bowen and Vrabel did a nice job together. If they work together well, and that's why, like, if Vrabel can get a guy like Josh McDaniels as the basically head coach offense, and he was even that under Bill Belichick in the later years. That frees up Vrabel to do all his Vrabel things, like tinkering with the defense and game management and thinking up crap to do during the game. That's the best situation for Vrabel.
Offensive line coaches, Jason Hoff-Tailing and Keith Carter. Do you know either of those guys?
Nope. Never heard of either of them.
Awesome. What would you do, by the way, Greg, at wide receivers coach? You have any names in your brain kind of jostling around?
I don't, but they better find a good one because they need to get out of this crap that they're in.